So I wanted to share a little bit about what Amazon.com has brought me as far as somebody who is a low vision shopper and user of their content. I've been an Amazon Prime member for over a year, and I've taken tremendous advantage of it. I feel like I get my money's worth out of it. The $99 a year gets me just wonderful access to things like the Amazon Kindle bookstore, which there are some books that you can get for free if you're a Prime member. More importantly, though, it's not necessarily the titles themselves. I mean, yes, Amazon's the biggest online library there is, but it's more of a journey through to independence because I needed a textbook, and I needed that textbook to be enlarged, or preferably enlarged, versus having to crane my neck over or having to pick up the book and hold it close to my face. There are other ways to get it enlarged, but they would have taken time, and the book itself would have cost considerably more had I gotten a hard copy at my local university bookstore. I was able to get the book for $25 on Amazon. I was able to enlarge my text to a comfortable reading level. I was able to utilize the Kindle Keyboard's onboard speech to effectively have it read back to me when I wanted to give my eyes a break. I've had my Kindle now for several years.
It's 3 o'clock.
And I absolutely love it. I honestly could not think of a more wonderful device on the market. Now, that being said, I do want to see about upgrading, or at least I'm considering upgrading in the future. I might go for a Kindle Voyage because of a number of things. Number one is the built-in backlight. Number two is the screen, because for somebody who has low vision, each pixel counts if you're trying to get a quality print image and at the same time retain large print. So a lot of times if you blow up material on a screen electronically, it gets very pixelated. That is, to a much lesser extent, true with e-ink, although I would still assume that there would be a great difference between the Kindle Keyboard and the Kindle Voyage in terms of clarity. Also, the Voyage's built-in backlight. I've got a backlight on the Paperwhite, but it's basically attached to a case. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say? I'm sorry. Backlight. I'm sorry. I meant to say LED light on the keyboard, but it's attached to a case, so it just pops up like a miniature desk lamp. Whereas the one on the Voyage is built in. And I've seen the Voyage in person. I love the fact that it's seamless. There's no drop shadow or anything, which was caused on previous e-readers by the way the screen was designed. That being said, the biggest things that I want to upgrade from the Kindle Paperwhite are actually for the X-ray feature and for various ways to enrich the content itself. Not necessarily for the device, but for the new ways to enrich the content that my current Kindle Paperwhite can't take advantage of. So that's a possibility. Another thing that I enjoy about Amazon is instant video. It's been able to give me access to old TV shows like Star Trek and Power Rangers. I have just enjoyed utilizing it. And for those of you who have been my subscribers for a while, you know that back in October, I placed an order for an Amazon Fire TV stick, which had arrived in December. I have been using it every day since. That little stick has been just tremendous. It is essentially an Amazon Fire, a low-end, I guess you would consider a low-end Fire computer, except on a 48-inch screen in my case, which is just phenomenal. It's been able to give me like I said, old content as well as new content. I'm currently getting into Stargate SG-1. Might explore Stargate Atlantis after that. Movies like Wolf of Wall Street, which I have not seen yet. I haven't gotten a chance to see in theaters, but it's sitting in my watch list. Being able to repurchase older movies like Lost in Space. I've got a copy of Lost in Space on DVD, but I think the disc has either disappeared or it's scratched up. So being able to reacquire this in a digital form without having to worry about, storing it somewhere or paying an arm and a leg for it. Because, like I said, Lost in Space was only like a couple of bucks, and I could stream Star Trek Voyager for free as part of my Amazon Prime membership, whereas iTunes, as an example with Star Trek Voyager, just wanted 41 season, they wanted $45. So I just think it's just a much better deal. There's also Amazon Prime Music. Same deal as I explained with the video. It's allowed me to load up my most listened to music that I've stored on my iMac, which I could not easily port over to my Android phone for various reasons pertaining to the way Verizon customized it. So being able to gain access to my music and discover new music without having to pay an additional fee. But the biggest thing it's given me is independence. Independence in shopping. Because what you see here is the mobile Amazon site. And you're probably thinking, well, what the heck is that? I'll show you why this is such a big deal. I'm going to fire up the VoiceOver screen reader.
VoiceOver on Safari, Amazon, window, Amazon, HTML content has keyboard focus.
Okay, let me see about slowing down the speech.
Pitch 50%, rate 60%, 30%.
All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you.
Interact with Amazon HTML content, Amazon.com group.
So let's say I'm looking for the search box. Well, I can just go ahead and...
Links menu, form controls menu, 2 items loaded, search, edit text, search, edit text.
And you notice that there's not...
button, link, image, email, gift card.
You can see that there's not an awful lot of extraneous content on here.
Link, 1-837-722-9777-998-500.
Of course, not everything is perfect. Obviously, they didn't label this one properly. But you get the point.
VoiceOver off.
Being able to go in and shop independently as somebody who has low vision is just incredible, especially when I'm up at my summer house, when driving distances make conventional trips to Best Buy, to be honest, not an easy deal because it's 45 minutes one way, and public transportation just isn't really doable up there. So Amazon has just been a wonderful, wonderful company in that respect as well. I wanted to share something new with you, which is quite interesting. It says here that Amazon can finally test its delivery drones in the US. So I'm going to go ahead and have Alex read this to you.
Amazon can finally test its delivery drones in the U.S. Amazon's drone team must have heaved a collective sigh of relief. The company only had to wait a few weeks for the FAA's approval. This time, the agency has officially granted Amazon's request to test its new UAVs in the U.S. on Wednesday, April 8th. If you recall, the company's previous request spent 6 months in limbo, forcing it to take all testing overseas. By the time the agency allowed the drone noted in the first application to be flown within the U.S., the machine was already obsolete, and Amazon was already using the new model. These new UAVs are not allowed to fly higher than 400 feet, though, or to exceed 100 miles per hour in speed. You can read these conditions, among other details, in the FAA's letter to Paul Maziner, the exec who posted the request on behalf of Amazon and who told Engadget by email, "We're pleased the FAA has granted our petition for this stage of R&D experimentation, and we look forward to working with the agency for permission to deliver prime air service to customers in the United States safely and soon."
I'm not going to bother having it read the rest because you get the idea. But for those of you who are not familiar with this, picture a quadcopter of sorts, with a canopy over the top, and underneath the canopy is a little box, and in that box is your order. Well, what's really cool about this is if you happen to live close enough to an Amazon distribution center and something is not being sold by a third party on Amazon, in other words, if it's being sold directly by Amazon or being fulfilled by Amazon, and the order happens to be within an acceptable set of parameters, then you don't even need to wait 2 or 3 days for your order. Supposedly with this Amazon Prime Air, you can get your order on the exact same day, which I think is just amazing. But I would say I wanted to share that with you, and in the end, I would have to say that the greatest thing that Amazon's given me as a shopper is not just access to wonderful content on multiple levels, but also independence with shopping, and also selection. Amazon has a selection that's just far beyond anything else that I've seen. And if anybody asks me, can I find this? The very first thing I tell them is go to Amazon. What do you guys think? Thank you for watching. Comments are welcome, and have a nice day.